They're like, well, at least I'm not a field slave. At least I'm in the house. At least I got money. I'm like, you take pride in that? You take pride in being a high value slave? What up, YouTube family and folks? This is Kevin's Perspective, the perspective that keeps on giving. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Go get your copy of the book, my book, Finding the New You. The link is in the description box down below. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. You see the title. You are a slave. Now, this video is more so towards me talking to men. I'm kind of just rambling, not rambling. I'm in a rant. More talking to men in this video because I start to see a lot of men, particularly black men, that have a lot of ego and pride. Shouts to Kev, KJ, man. They had a good video. He has a good video about pride and ego on his Humble Beginnings channel. More information on that coming soon. But this video is about humility and humbleness. I hear guys say, I'm not a slave. I ain't a slave. I'm free. I got this. I got that going on. I'm doing this, that, and the third. You a slave. The question is, what plantation are you working on? I see guys be slaves to money, women, vanity, the illusion of ownership, the illusion of freedom. You claim you own something. Don't pay taxes on that house. See what happens. You say you're free. Go do what you want to do and see what happens. It's all an illusion. That's my perspective. I'm going to get biblical. Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground. That's not to say that to be discouraging. That verse is there to humble you and make you realize that regardless of what you do or what you want in life, you're going to have to work for it. And you're going to have to work to keep it and maintain it. It's the reality. It's the curse of man. I went to Miami a few years ago, right? And this guy pulled up in like a cream Rolls Royce Phantom. Nice. And I was like, yo, that's a nice car. And he said, yeah, it took me years. All them years of doing real estate paid off. Right? And I was like, so you still do real estate now? And he was like, hell yeah, I can't stop working. I got to keep this stuff. I said, so when do you plan to retire? And he was like, I don't feel like I'm going to retire anytime soon. Because he looked like he was about between his 40s and 50s. He was like, I don't look like I'm going to retire anytime soon. I don't feel like I can retire. And then he looked over to his wife and said, she might have something to say about it if I retire. Right? In a jokingly way. And even though the exchange was fun, it gave me a realization at that moment. Like, it don't matter how much money you got, you're going to be a slave. What plantation are you going to work on? They couldn't stop working if they tried. You got to work to get it, and you got to work to keep it. You're a slave to your own motivation, your own vanity. Guys talk about financial freedom, but the generational wealth isn't going up. How is that possible? Life expectancy is going down. Finances are going up. And generational wealth isn't moving. People trading in time for money. I see it all the time. You trading in time to chase a bag because you're a slave to your money. You're a slave to people. You're a slave to women. You're a slave to lifestyle. We sit around as men talk about how women like lifestyles and love lifestyles, then turn right around and chase a lifestyle. At what point does purpose come into play? If guys come up to me and tell me that they got a bag, but you can't tell me why you living for the day, then you just wasted 24 hours of your life. I don't care how big the bag was. And you wasting my time telling me about how you wasted yours. What are you living for? What is your purpose in life? Does your purpose even require money? People like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Mandela, they weren't the richest people in the world, but they made the biggest impact. What impact are you making? You moving in silence because you don't know your purpose. You just know what goals you have. Your purpose don't have to be silent. That's your destiny. That's going to happen regardless if you go towards it. It don't matter who see it and who don't see it. They can't stop it. That's God's purpose. They can't stop that. People may hate you. It don't matter. They can't stop it. What is your purpose? I saw an interview with Dame Dash talking to Steven Jackson saying his dreams wasn't big enough. And I'm like, yeah, that sounded good at first. And then I thought about it. And I'm like, why are we living for dreams? Why are we living for big dreams? What is your purpose in life? Sometimes your purpose might not even require or need money, but you chasing the bag. And then wonder why you die early. We're going to get to that in a little bit. They're like, he died so early. He got his money, though. You see death around the corner because you keep getting money on the block. But you got the bag, though. But you have no generational wealth. How do we talk about generational wealth and then focus on the wealth, but don't focus on the generation? I see guys talk about generational wealth and don't, in the same conversation, don't even talk about the generation. They talk about individual value. They're like, well, at least I'm not a field slave. At least I'm in the house. At least I got money. I'm like, you take pride in that? You take pride in being a high value slave? I see the sweat on your brow. I see it. I see the tiredness in your eyes. At what point do you use money as a tool and a resource and not worship it as a person, as something you live with? Money is just a tool and a resource. What are you using it for? Why are you getting it? Are you getting it for purpose or are you just getting it for lifestyle? You want to live a certain way. Why are you living, period? That's the question. We live in this hustle culture that's been growing over the years, right? And we take pride in hustling to get it. And you just working, moving fast, doing this, that, and the third. But I don't hear nobody talk about purpose. Why they even living? That's not why you living. You ain't making an impact. You're just making money. It just look impactful. You're influential, but you're not impactful. It's easy to influence somebody. It's very easy to influence people. But impacting someone's life changes the paradigm of generations. The key to generational wealth is not money, it's marriage. But we don't talk about marriage because we don't know how to build families. We suck at it. That's why we go chase the money. I'm going to pass the money down to my kids. Who cares about it? Doesn't matter if you pass it down to your kids. All they're going to do is blow it. They don't know what to do with it. 70% of family fortune is lost and disappears between two generations. Over 90% between 3 generations. You passing your stuff down to who? For what? What they going to do with it? You didn't build your family. You just built the money. You just built the wealth. But you didn't build the generation. Nobody talks about family. Nobody talks about marriage. The only thing we talk about is how we hate each other. Men can't be with women and women can't be with men. Nobody knows how to build relationships. People wonder why I talk about relationships so much, because relationships are the foundation for everything. Relational intelligence is the foundation for everything. You can get money all you want to. Who you passing it down to? And how far will it go? It's not about who you pass it down to. It's about how far will it go. You don't build family. Don't talk about family. Don't talk about building family. We make babies. And we make baby mamas. But we don't build families. Richest people in the world married or have been married on their way to the top. That's the key to generational wealth. It's not just generational wealth. That's the key to generations. Generational wealth, the first word is generation. If you can't build that, then who cares if you can build wealth? What is your purpose for living? You trading in your time for money. You got to be smart with your purpose. It's still important to be financially literate. Very important. We need to teach each other how to be financially literate. But we also need to teach each other how to build families, how to get married. I've seen guys get so much money and die alone because they put value in vanity. Ecclesiastes, vanity, vanity, vanity is all vanity. At what point is enough enough? Because what I'm starting to see is the shift. Being financially free means to be able to make money without having to work for it. And then I see people still working for it. What are you a slave to? You should be able to let that generate while you go work on your purpose. But you're letting that generate and going to go work for something else, for somebody else. What are you making money for? Why are you making it? How are you using it? These are important questions to ask. These are questions to bring a level of humility to your situation. The more egotistical and prideful you are, the closer you are to your death. I'm just going to say it just like that. You got to be more humble. All of us have to be more humble in understanding what we are here for. What gifts do you have? Find out what's going on with your life. Before you even try to chase money, why are you here? What do you even need the money for so you can know how to delegate your resources? You chasing $1 million, you might not even need but 100,000. Why am I here? That takes a level of introspection and retrospection, like I say in this book here, chapter 3, actually chapter 1 through 3. Introspection and retrospection. You have to think. You have to take time to think. Thinking takes time. You have to put time aside to really think about what you're doing with your life or what purpose you have in your life. And I wanted to reel this in because I see too many people talking about money, and that's fine. That's cool. Get your bag. But once that becomes the only topic of conversation, there's a problem. The reason why you are living should be your topic of conversation. You should be comfortable enough to go to somebody and tell them why you're alive. You never know who you might bump into. If you knew what your purpose was and that was the topic of your conversation, you will never know what other people you will bump into that will help you with your purpose. But if your topic of conversation is vanity, then don't be surprised. You never know what relationships you can build if you knew your purpose and knew how to talk about it. If you're going to be a slave to your purpose. Everything else is a waste of time. That's my message for today. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.